Do you need a break from this insane year we've all had? Have you thought about taking a wellness trip? In this video, I am going to be sharing with you my experience of taking a silent retreat trip, why I think it's something everyone should be doing, and determining which type is best for you. Hi there. If you don't know me yet, my name is Jen, and I am the owner of Launch Your Travels, where I teach people how to plan and take their own trips. Now, when I was traveling around the world, I ran into a lot of people who were doing these silent retreats. Totally piqued my interest, exactly what I was kind of looking for, but the timing just never worked out. It took me a little while for me to actually go to one, but when I did, amazing. Now, there is a few different types of silent retreats. I did some research and some digging when I went to go look for the types that I was going for. And the three main ones that came up was the first one was a 10-day silent meditation retreat. Now, this one is by donation. It is extremely popular and it's done all over the world. It's easy to go in and just pay a donation. You have all your food covered, everything's covered, all your accommodations and whatnot. This one here is, well, first I'll go over the three types. Second is the private scheduled multi-day retreats. And then the third one is a public silent retreats. So the first one, as I was just explaining, is the most popular and the one that has the most talked about. But there are a lot of things that you want to be well aware of before you go into one of those retreats, because I heard a lot of stories about it. And although everyone came out saying that they really enjoyed it and thought it was fabulous, it is a lot different than other silent retreats. This one is completely meditation based, and you are going to be meditating for 10 plus hours a day for the full 10 days. So you want to make sure that you are able to do this. You know, there's no skipping out on these meditations. There are certain ones that you're able to do in your room, but you are having to sit and do them all the time. I knew these ones were not going to be for me, just for the pure fact that I don't have the best back all the time, and I could not imagine sitting and being super uncomfortable for that amount of time of meditation. The second one I was looking into was the private silent retreats. So these were multi-day put-ons by a specific person. They were either included yoga or meditation, or sometimes a combination of both. Those ones get very expensive. They're a very premium product, and they have a limited number of people that they take, but they only happen at certain dates. So unless those dates are for you and you're able to make it for that time, they're not necessarily going to work out for you. Now, the last one is a private silent retreat. And this is the one that I went to. And so far, I've only found it where I took it, which was in Bali. So I knew I was going to Bali and I wanted to try a silent retreat. The 10-day ones, those ones book up immediately as soon as the times are released and the dates. So you have to plan for that one well in advance if you're wanting to do that. This one here was the first of its kind where you didn't have to participate in any of the activities, the meditations, yoga. It also had a bunch of other things that you could do as well. It was all optional. Now, another thing which was great is that you decided how long you were going to be staying there. So I stayed there for 8 days, and at the end, I wish I stayed longer. It was really a great experience because it gave you the flexibility to be able to choose what you did in that time and that space, and still be able to do a few things like writing. So you could write in a journal, and they encouraged that because a lot of thoughts and ideas come up when you're just sitting around and going through all the noise in your brain. The other thing that you could do is you could read books. that is one thing that that 10-day retreat does not allow. I wouldn't call it a retreat, actually. I guess it is, but the 10-day meditation retreat allow nothing like that. You're not allowed to have anything out, only meditation. So that gave me, it was almost like a silent retreat light that I went to, but I wouldn't have changed it for the world. It was inexpensive. It was not super expensive. And because you could choose how long you went, you could justify the costs either way. And they also had 3 different types of accommodations. So I stayed in the dorm room because I was watching my money, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was beautiful accommodations. They had a main room. It was open air room. They supplied all the meals. So this was called Bali Silent Retreat. It was in the middle of rice fields, which was beautiful and just something to be woken up to every day with a smile on your face. The only thing that concerned me was all the signs about warning you of snakes. Never saw one, so that was a good thing. But you were able to get up, go to the main place. Oh, God, why can't I think of that? You go to the library, they call it. So you go to the library, they have some books there. I brought my Kindle, and you're able to just go and sit, relax, and do what you want. Nothing about that you're able to do in the other retreats. So I came away with a lot of pros of going to one of these silent retreats. First is that you don't have to talk to anybody, which is much more of a bigger godsend than anything else, because you always feel that obligation to talk to someone and make small talk. But here, you don't feel that you're being rude or anything. So you are able to just stick to yourself and not talk to anybody, which is fabulous. Second, you are able to go through all of your brain thoughts. Because our lives are filled with so much noise, we're either distracted by music, TV, movies, people talking, going out with friends. All those types of things fill our time and our brain space every minute of the day. So you don't necessarily have a dedicated time where you can just sit and listen to your thoughts. Here, you're able to do that, and it's amazing how much you can quiet all the noise in your brain while in one of these silent retreats. And then also your food. So the food at the one that I went to was amazing. Really great food. They made it all on site, and they made it all local. It was all done in their own gardens. It was vegan, vegetarian, and for someone that's not really vegan or vegetarian, it was fantastic food. Now, with the 10-day retreat, I have heard that the food is something to be desired. So you want to keep that in mind as well. So you want to have an idea of what the purpose is for going to one of these retreats. Now, I didn't come away with any cons about going into this particular retreat. Everything was amazing. I was able to go to the yoga and also the meditation whenever I wanted. I could sign up for other excursions when I wanted to, or I could just sit and do nothing. So it was really, really great. Now, there is an adjustment period for when you come back into real life, because you're so used to everything being quiet that everything is really loud when you get out of that area. So you have that a little bit of adjustment period, but it is still worth it. You just kind of ease yourself into back to normal life. Now, I would do this again and again. If I could do it yearly, I would. And I highly recommend that you at least try this once in your life. They do these types of retreats all over the world. So you're able to find one that will suit you. And I highly recommend it, because you'll gain so much more than you thought you would when you went into there. So I hope that gives you a little bit of insight into silent retreats and how some wellness travel could benefit you at any point in your life. So when you are going to be ready to start traveling again, I'm going to hope that you have a really great time without any hiccups. Now, COVID-19 and the pandemic have changed the way that certain things and the way that travel happens. So I want you to be safe and not have anything go wrong. So I created a document guide for traveling during COVID-19. So you can grab that down below. I'm also going to put it down in the comments. If you have any questions, please feel free to put them down in the comments as well, and I would be happy to answer those for you. Otherwise, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you next time.